This is Trent with Shur Sporting, and today we're going to teach you to shoot from the hip. One of the biggest tricks that I learned on how to shoot from the hip was that this pointer finger was an extension of my eye. Wherever my eyes are looking, my finger is pointing. Wherever my finger is pointing, my eyes are looking. And if I can match those two up, then I'm going to be able to hit more targets. So on a shotgun, we're going to use this Browning BPS for a demonstration. I put my finger just like that. My finger is out, and when I'm shooting from the hip, this is in line, and I also keep my forearm in line here. What I see a lot of people do when they shoot from the hip is this gun drops, and then they're shooting a gun that's up like this, which is very difficult to do. So when you can keep your guns more level, keep this out as an extension of your eye, the next most important thing is your stance. A lot of people, when they want to shoot shotgun, they come over here and they stand like this. So what I like to do is line up my belt buckle or my belly button with wherever I want to break that target. So if that break point is right out here, right out in front, I'm going to square up to it. If that target goes left, I can swing. If that target goes right, I can swing that way. So that's the footing on how to shoot from the hip. I bought a Maglite flashlight, a baby mini. It's called a mini Maglite. Right there. Gun is empty. You want to make sure we're safe. Gun is empty. There's nothing in there. I keep the action open. I put this right in there. I turn that Maglite on. Inside, if you dim the lights down or turn them off, you can go ahead and start to learn the relationship between your finger and your eye. And so what I use is the wall where the ceiling and the wall meet, and I use that, and what I'll do is I'll track the wall. And I'm holding this gun where I'd want to hold it when I'm hip shooting. And lastly, it's important to know how to read a target. If you can read a target and know where the easiest place is to shoot it, that'll help you out a lot. What I like to do is when I throw a target, I'll throw it up and then I'll be ready to shoot. But I like to break it right at the bottom when it's starting to drop at the apex. So where that target is at its highest point is what I call the apex, and then it starts to fall. And if you let it fall too far, it becomes a much more difficult target to shoot. If you shoot it right at the rise on the way up, it's somewhat hard to shoot. But if you shoot it at the apex, right before it starts dropping down and catching speed, that's the easiest part or easiest place to shoot that target. Hand-thrown targets are typically easier to shoot than a driven target off of a machine. Shoot a target right at that apex and get that flight path figured out. That'll help you a lot on shooting from the hip. All right, so we have Joe, the newest member of Shur Sporting Team, Joe Incontro. He is going to demo how to shoot from the hip. I'm going to guide him through it. I'm going to throw this target up. I need you to miss it so it looks like I did something. I'll throw it up. Okay. You miss it. Okay. Okay? That way it looks good. Yeah. Okay, you ready? Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're way off. Yeah. Way off. Okay. Yeah. So now I'm going to teach you how to shoot from the hip. Roger that. So Joe, you saw the demonstration on how to break it down. As you can see here, we have our safety on. Joe has his finger right out here. Some people use their thumb. Joe and I, and Tanner as well, like to use our finger out here. So he's going to keep this in line with his barrel. Right over here on the butt of the gun, he's going to keep his forearm pretty tied to that butt so he knows that that gun is level and it doesn't drop. Like I said before, a lot of people drop that gun, yes, and they try to shoot like that. It's a very tough angle to try to shoot from the hip. Okay, so go ahead and hold that gun up, And if you, let's imagine that that target's right at that apex, right where I wanted to or showed you to shoot it.
Okay.
If you're going to shoot it there, you feel like you're on?
Yes.
Okay. So imagine that target going up, apex, and back down. Okay, very good. Do you know where you're at?
No.
Okay. Yep. So make your adjustment and try to keep. Yep. And this is where a lot of people, you're almost like in a feed cast. So keep that tight in right there and try to keep that locked in. Are we ready? Look at that. One more. Smack on. Nice work. Okay. Was your stance.
It was like this.
Yep, we're more in a rifle stance, so if you want to kind of open that up a little bit, good. That way we have a little bit, yep, your belt buckle is about in line with where we want to break that target. You feel comfortable there?
I do.
Okay, and just kind of lean forward, keep that gun close to your forearm. You ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Look at that.
Underneath it.
Yep. Smack on. 2 targets. You ready?
Go.
Got one. Do it again.
That's like 50%.
Hey. Yeah.
There it is.
All right. All right. So the next thing is how we're going to throw the target and then shoot that same target from the hip. Like this. Take a deep breath. And I line my stance up, and as I throw, I rolling this target, and I roll it off of the bottom 3 fingers. Here, boom, just like that. Okay? Then you're going to worry about your throw, and you just roll it off of your fingers.
You ready?
Yes, sir. Hey!
It's all in the hips. Woo!
Don't leave me hanging. Joe and I, we're going to close out this session shooting side by side. He's going to crush that one from the hip. I'm going to crush these 2 from the hip. You ready?
Yes, sir.
You feel confident? You did awesome today.
Thank you.
You definitely passed.
I appreciate it.
All right. Ready? Yep. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah!